May I have your attention, please? My name is Dr. Michael Stewart, and I serve as the Associate Vice President of Student Affairs here at Middle Georgia State University. As we prepare to begin our ceremony today, we ask your assistance in assuring that your family member or friend that you are here to see gets the recognition that they have so richly earned. The graduation procession will begin in a few moments and will be televised on the screens. Any guests not already seated at that time will be asked to remain where they are until the procession has concluded. After that time, standing guests will be allowed to go to their seats. We do request that guests remain seated during the procession. A video recording will be available for you to share on our YouTube channel. Also, professional photographers are capturing still shots of your loved ones as they make their way into the venue. During the ceremony, all of our graduates look forward to hearing their name called as they cross the stage. So we ask that you please limit your celebrations and hold your applause until the very end. Then our provost will invite you to join him in offering your heartfelt congratulations to all of our graduates. On a related note, although we believe that all of our graduates are important, honor graduates who are receiving bachelor's degrees are recognized with a Latin phrase given after the reading of their name. Those who graduate cum laude, which means with honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.5 and 3.7. Those who graduate magna cum laude, or with great honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.7 and 3.9. And those who graduate summa cum laude, or with highest honor, earned a grade point average of between 3.9 and 4.0. As a final sound-related request, we ask that you check to see that you have silenced your phone at this time. And lastly, we request that when the ceremony ends, you exit the building promptly and proceed outside to continue the celebration with your graduates. We recognize that it's still a little bit cool outside, but that just means you get to huddle together a little closer. So, with those preliminaries out of the way, we invite you to enjoy the fall commencement ceremony for Middle Georgia State University.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. David Jenks, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Middle Georgia State University. It is an honor to welcome you to campus today. President Blake and I join with MGA faculty and staff, along with parents, relatives, friends, guests, and dignitaries, to celebrate our Fall 2023 graduating class. We extend our appreciation to all who have been involved in planning and preparing for today's commencement ceremony. Their efforts have made it a day to remember. Today is a special day as we celebrate their achievements. We are hosting 3 commencement ceremonies on campus today, with 2 having taken place yesterday. These smaller ceremonies provide a personalized experience, ensuring that graduates can celebrate their achievements in a way that is both memorable and meaningful. As we gather today, it is also important to acknowledge the challenges and losses we have faced this year. I ask that we take a moment to pause and remember those who are not with us today. If you direct your attention to the first row, you'll see an empty chair draped in a black cloth. This chair represents the absence of our beloved students, staff, and faculty who have passed away this year. May their legacy inspire us to continue to make a positive impact in the world and to cherish every moment with those we love. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor their memories. Thank you. Today, we celebrate commencement, a new beginning. For graduates, that may mean moving away from an area of comfort, leaving the spaces of learning, and possibly parting ways with close friends. This commencement marks the beginning of a new pattern of life, a new schedule, and a new set of responsibilities. However, before the candidates for graduation move on, let us all enjoy this ceremony today and celebrate what they've accomplished. Let's take a moment to recognize just how far all of our graduation candidates have come, while so much in their life has changed over the course of their studies. Graduates, if you're the first in your family to graduate from college, please stand and remain standing. If you're a parent while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you are or have been a first responder while being a student, please stand and remain standing. If you're active duty, an armed forces veteran, or in a military family, please stand and remain standing. If you had a full-time or part-time job while taking courses, please stand and remain standing. If you're proud of the work you've done and are ready to receive your diploma, please stand and remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Fall 2023 class of Middle Georgia State University. Candidates, you've received a great deal of help getting to this point. This support has come from many people in your lives, including your family, your friends, possibly donors of a scholarship, and members of the Middle Georgia State University community. Let's take time to appreciate those who have helped you get here today. Faculty members, please stand and remain standing. The faculty at Middle Georgia State University has certified that all candidates have completed the requirements for their respective degrees. Their continuous support and dedication to higher education enable us all to be here today. Join me in thanking them with a round of applause. There are a few others who may have helped you on your journey. Parents, please stand and remain standing. Grandparents, please stand and remain standing. Spouses and children, please stand. Siblings, extended family, partners, and friends, please stand. If you helped someone receiving a diploma today, please know that we all appreciate how important your support has been for these graduates. Candidates, take a moment, look around, find your people. Think about those who couldn't be here today. Join me in a round of applause to honor those who helped you attain your goal of becoming a university graduate. And next up, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Asia Henderson, a music major in our contemporary musicianship program.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Asia. Please be seated, everyone. Candidates, as you reflect on your educational journey here at Middle Georgia State University, it's important to recognize the significant impact that our donors have on your experience. These wonderful individuals, who you may or may not know personally, have believed in your potential and supported our university generously through donations to the MGA Foundation. To our graduates, as you move forward in your careers, we hope that you will be active alumni, and we encourage you to consider how you can give back to help the knights coming behind you. Please join us in a round of applause to recognize the important role of our MGA Foundation and the donors who give to it. Thank you all for your support and generosity. At fall commencement, the student speaker is not a member of the graduating class, but rather the president of the Student Government Association, SGA, bringing you greetings on behalf of the students who will follow in our graduates' footsteps. The individual speaking you today is one of two students selected to represent the SGA. Ransford Williams is pursuing a double major in aviation and aerospace management and business administration with a concentration in logistics management. He is also minoring in public relations and criminal justice. Williams is co-president of the Middle Georgia State's Student Government Association, a member of the University Student Committee, and part of the Sigma Alpha Pi National Society of Leadership and Success. He serves in multiple positions within the Upsilon Psi chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, including Secretary, Director of Education, co-editor, and Assistant Director of Retention and Alumni Relations for College Brothers within the Southern ranks. And he is here to speak to you today, taking extra time. Impressive. Beyond his academic pursuits and leadership roles, Williams said he is deeply committed to community service and actively seeks opportunities to empower others in the community. Williams has said the center of his life is his faith in God, and his guiding motivation is the belief that there is a stone for every Goliath. This conviction fuels his determination to overcome any challenge that he encounters on his path to success. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Ransford Williams.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, trustees, honored guests, and our esteemed graduates. Before I delve into my speech today, I would like to take some time out that I'm reminded of a poem or a quote by a famous American author and professor circa 1836 to about 1882, thereabout, who says, his name is Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who says, "The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards toward the night." Simply put, that great accomplishments do not happen overnight. They are results of hard work, which you yourselves have done. And at times, most people never know about all the hard work that come before success. Thus, for all you have toiled, your harvest is yours to reap today. Press on. Now unto my speech. As I stand today, I picture you dressed to the nines in your regalia, ready to toss your graduation caps in the air like confetti. I can't help but draw parallels between your journey and some iconic movies we've grown up loving. Graduation feels like a climax of a blockbuster saga, with each of you as protagonists, overcoming countless trials, the exams that felt like final showdowns, the group projects that resembled epic quests, and the all-nighters that seemed straight out of a survival thriller. But hey, you have survived. Cue the victory music. Now, as you step into your sequel called Life After Graduation, you're faced with choices that could rival the most intricate plot twist in Hollywood history. You see, like in the movies, the job market is a bit like the Hunger Games. Competitive, survival of the fittest, and occasionally featuring unexpected alliances. Some of you might be hoping for a Harry Potter moment where your degree is a magical key unlocking your dream job or career. At Hogwarts, at your dream place of work. But reality check, it might be more like the Shawshank Redemption, where you passionately chip away at walls, one resume at a time, hoping for the redemption call from that potential employer. Passion, my friends, is the force that makes our heart beat faster than the fast and furious car chase. But much like the Devils Wear Prada, passion doesn't pay the bills. So here's the plot. You might be needing a strategy, a superhero team-up. Think Avengers level strategy, leveraging your unique superpowers, your personal brand identity, your calling card, your unique talents, and thinking outside the box. Oh, and not settling just for any job. Like, who wants just any job that comes your way? Know your worth. It's about finding a role that doesn't just pay the bills, but also feels like the next big sequel in your career saga, and one that balances self-care and work. This might sound like a utopia to some, or an elusive four-leaf clover, but press on. You see, self-care is not selfish. A good work-life balance means you have harmony, at least most of the times, between the different aspects of your life. Outside of work, you will have time, or try to make time, to spend with other things, such as caring for yourselves and your family and leisure activities. If you can spend some time in personal care, might I add, socializing, hobbies, and relaxation, this can support your overall well-being. It's important to prioritize your well-being, which is often seen as being of less importance than paid work or chores. And speaking of plot twist, that imposter syndrome and rejection, they're like the supervillains we all love to hate. But here's the reality check. Heroes aren't made without feeling or facing some formidable foe. Superman had his kryptonite. Every rejection is a montage sequence in your Rocky training phase, preparing you for the ultimate knockout moment. And when imposter syndrome rears its head, preparing you for the ultimate knockout, remember, even superheroes, as I said, have their moments of doubt. It's a sign you're pushing boundaries and aiming for greatness. After all, you're an MJ grad. Anything less would be uncivilized. Lastly, don't forget your supporting cast. Your friends, your mentors, your parents, your professors, everyone that took time as your cheerleader. They, like the wise old wizard and trusty sidekick, guiding you through the plot twists and celebrating your victories, your own personal cheerleaders. So, graduates, grab your popcorn, cue the dramatic soundtrack, and march forth into the sequel of your lives with resilience, humor, and a dash of cinematic flair. Let's make your post-graduation saga a blockbuster hit. Congratulations, and may your story be as epic as the movies we adore. And remember, in this sequel called life, may the job offers be as plentiful as Marvel movies, and the odds of success be forever in your favor. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Christopher Blake, and I serve as the president of Middle Georgia State University. But after a speech like that from Ransford, it's always hard to follow and think, well, how am I going to do? Thank you. That was inspiring. We are truly happy and proud of today and of your accomplishment. This is an event around your accomplishment. And everybody here, our faculty, your loved ones, your family, the platform party, guests, we're here for that reason. A shared moment and an important transition in your life. At this point, though, before we get to the awarding of your degrees, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our fall 2023 commencement speaker. Brigadier General John Eberlin is the commander at the Warner Robins Air Logistic Complex, Robins Air Force Base, and serves a world-class workforce of more than 7,200 personnel. The complex performs programmed depot maintenance and modification on all variants of the F-15, C-130, C-5, and C-17 aircraft, and Special Operations Forces aircraft, as well as the RQ-4, EBC, and TH-1H. And I probably couldn't identify which those aircraft are, if I'm honest. He's responsible for the maintenance, repair, and overhaul of a very diverse aircraft components, avionics, and electronic warfare equipment, along with the development and sustainment of missions-critical software, test program sets, and automated test equipment. Brigadier General Eberlin enlisted in the Air Force in 1990 and earned his commission as a distinguished graduate of the Officer Training School in August of 1998. He served as a commander of the squadron, group, and wing levels. He's also served in key major command, air staff, and joint duty positions. Among his degrees are a Bachelor of Science in Business Management from Park College, a Master of Science in Logistics Management from the Air Force Institute of Technology, a Master of Military Operational Art and Science from Air Command and Staff College, a Master of Science in National Resource Strategy from the Dwight D. Eisenhower School at Fort Leslie J. McNair, and a Military Fellow from the Council of Foreign Relations. He is, we could say, both academically and militarily well qualified. A few of his assignments include Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas, Langley Air Force Base, Allied Air Component Commands in Izmir, Turkey, U.S. Air Force Headquarters, the Pentagon in Virginia, and the Office of Security Cooperation, United States Embassy in Baghdad, Iraq. His major awards and decorations include the Legion of Merit with an oak leaf cluster, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Meritorious Service Medal with 5 oak leaf clusters, the Joint Service Commendation Medal, the Air Force Commendation Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters, and the Air Force Achievement Medal. Please welcome a very distinguished and very highly qualified commencement speaker, Brigadier General John Eberlin. Brigadier.
So I guess I'm standing in between you and you getting your diploma. So I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. Dr. Blake, thank you for asking me to speak today and for your support of the Warner Robins Air Logistics Complex and Robins Air Force Base. You're key to what we do each and every day and to the national security of our country. I've spoken many times at military graduations and functions, but believe it or not, this is my first time at a college or university delivering a commencement address. I'm honored and humbled to be here. Parents, family, and friends, thank you for not only being here today, but thank you for your support of these graduates. Each person sitting here today represents one person with his or her own story of how they got to this point, and most of those stories involve hundreds of people who touched their lives and supported and guided them along the way. So I was in your shoes about 5 months ago. Our daughter graduated from Baylor University with a pre-med degree. And I remember as our daughter walked across the stage, thinking about all the milestones in her life, the tears, the meltdowns when, exams didn't go the way she wanted them to go, and, talking her through some of those things. And I can't remember, how proud I was. I remember how proud I was watching her that she accomplished what she set out to do. Because it's not a given. This is a rigorous program. An undergraduate degree is a huge, huge accomplishment. But I don't know if any of you have figured out how to get kids off the payroll like post-graduation. I'm open for business because I haven't figured that one out yet. To our graduates, congratulations on this achievement and significant milestone in your life. You did it. As we say in the Air Force, mission accomplished. For some of you, this will be your last formal college degree that's conferred on you. But for all of you, this represents a milepost on a journey of lifelong learning as well as the commencement of a new beginning. As you navigate this new beginning, I would offer, be and know yourself. Too many times we let situations, jobs, or someone else's perception influence how we act or what we do. You're good enough the way you are. I've had the privilege, I was an executive officer 2 times for general officers. One when I was a captain and one when I was a lieutenant colonel. 2 completely different ladies in terms of personality profile. One got all kinds of energy from being around people. She could do public speaking engagements from daylight to dark, be full of energy. She was an extrovert at her core. It was almost like watching a Vegas lounge act. Then, the 4-star that I exec for when I was a lieutenant colonel was very much an introvert, but very, very effective. And she was Janet Wolfenbarger. She was the first female 4-star general in the United States Air Force. And we had to be mindful about how many times, that we put her in speaking engagements, during the day because it would drain her. And that was just her personality. Both highly effective, highly competent leaders, but wired completely different. So be mindful that each and every one of us have our own set of strengths and weaknesses. Know what yours are. Be honest with yourself about where you're strong and where you're weak, and be a big enough person to share with others and ask for help. It will help you and your teammates achieve higher levels of success. Be open to change. Realize that the plan you have today is going to have forks in the road and may lead to a different destination than you thought. I'm living proof. I graduated from high school in 1987. I went to a small junior college in Lufkin, Texas, and played baseball and thought that I wanted to be a high school baseball coach and teach English like my father did. I transferred to Stephen F. Austin State University and continued to play baseball. While I was at Stephen F., I got burned out on school. And I wasn't putting my best foot forward and decided it was time to go home and do something else. And so I left school and I did construction work for about 6 months. We pipelined, I did all kinds of different things, and finally decided, I was going nowhere fast, and I needed to find something else to do that was more predictable. And so I had a cousin join the Air Force the year prior, and so I decided to try it out. And so I went and saw a recruiter in Lufkin, Texas, and I joined the Air Force as an Airman First Class. That's a two-striper for those of you. I was an enlisted airman. And here I am today, 33 years later. Now, when I graduated from high school, I didn't want to talk to a military recruiter. I didn't want anything to do with the military. And here I am. I was open to change and to try new things. I encourage you to do that. Something similar may happen to you. Be open to it. As Mark Twain put it, find a job you enjoy doing, and you'll never work a day in your life. Don't be afraid to fail. Failing has a way of exposing our vulnerabilities and our weaknesses. I don't think I've ever met anyone that enjoyed failing, but I've met many who took the lessons learned from failure and turned them into strengths. I'm envious of the aviators in our Air Force. They are a brutally honest community. Every time you see an Air Force plane fly, at the end of the mission or the end of the sortie, they all get together, talk about what went right and what went wrong. And it can be a junior second lieutenant telling a colonel, wing commander, hey, you weren't at your best today. And they take the feedback from each other and get better. And they leave the rank at the door. And I wish more of our communities in the Air Force were like that. As Will Rogers put, good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. Be an analog communicator in a digital world. Most of you have lived your whole life with unprecedented access to information, and in some cases, misinformation. You're more informed and so much better at multitasking than my generation. When I joined the Air Force, there were no cell phones, email, and we had one computer in my first shop. One. And it was to build deployment packages, and it was tied to a classified network. So how did you get things done? Well, we had to go talk to people face to face, or you had to pick the phone up. I marveled at my daughter in high school with a cell phone, a computer, music playing in the background, a book wide open, and pencil and paper, doing homework with 3 or 4 different things going on at once. I could not do that. I'm the type of person that has to have things kind of uncluttered where I can focus. But more and more you are that way, and it is a strength for our country. Get out of your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable being around people, go see people, call them, work things out face to face. Smartphones are very powerful tools. Same with email, but they're that. They're tools. You have to get to know someone to know the meaning behind a text. If you don't know the person, and case in point, I can tell, and I've been married to my wife for 27 years. Believe it or not, she's a speech language pathologist. No, she's never practiced on me. It's called accent reduction, by the way. But I can tell what kind of day she's having by the number of capitalized words, the number of periods, the number of exclamation points in a text. But we spent 27 years getting to know each other face to face. I encourage you to unplug and get to know the people that you work with and the people around you. You will get to higher and higher levels of performance. And I have a standing rule, and one of our executive assistants is here with me today. No cell phones or electronics in staff meeting. And that's our time to spend 1 hour with one another, just talking to each other and talking about how our organization can get better. No distractions. In closing, it's been an honor to spend some time with you today. If there's one thing I'd like to leave you with, and I learned in the Air Force on my first deployment, it's not about you. If you remember, I told you when I joined the Air Force, I joined because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I joined for selfish reasons. I joined for the benefits. I joined to be able to do something later on. My plan going in was 4 years in the Air Force, go back to East Texas, and live the rest of my life. During my first deployment, I learned about the why behind service, more about myself and more about my teammates. I fell in love with the Air Force. I found out that I was happiest and most successful when I put team success above me, which is the essence of service. I've learned throughout the course of my career that there's plenty of credit to go around when you're part of a successful team. Congratulations again on your outstanding achievement, and as we say in aviation, wishing you fair skies and tailwinds as you continue in your professional and personal journeys in this thing called life. Cheers, and God bless.
Thank you, Brigadier General John Eberlin. That was impressive. On behalf of the Middle Georgia State University faculty, it is my honor to congratulate the fall 2023 graduates on this special occasion. Commencement is a time of recognition of your academic accomplishments, so we join your family and friends in celebrating your success. Are y'all ready to walk across the stage? All right, when we call the names of the degree candidates, graduate students will be called first. These graduate students will be hooded. Hooding is the first of two important academic rituals that take place during today's commencement ceremonies. It is reserved for grad students and will be performed by Dean Kuhang, who will place the hood over the candidate's head. So when you come up, you'll see some footprints right here. You stop, hand the hood to Dr. Kuhang, face the audience, and he'll drape it over the top of you. This action symbolizes the passing of knowledge from the academic community to the graduate and signifies the graduate's inclusion into that academic community. Students, when you come up, please hand your hood to Dean, face the audience. And now, one last thing. After you pass Dean Kuhang and me, you're going to run into President Blake over here. There's another set of footprints. This is for everybody. You have to stop and take your picture. He will stop you if you try and run by or step off the front. They'll just throw you back in. It's like a mosh pit. You just stop, take your picture, and then you can proceed off the other side. Assisting with the presentation of degree candidates are President Blake, the academic deans, our registrar, Ms. Angie O'Neill, and our commencement caller, Dr. Jennifer Brannon.
Afternoon. I'm Jennifer Brannon, Vice President for Student Affairs here at Middle Georgia State University. It is my pleasure to call forth each of the graduates participating in today's ceremony. Candidates for the degrees in the Master of Science in Information Technology, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Kuhang, Dean Clayton, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Tavares Adams, Master of Science, Information Technology. Brian Ashford. Blake Anastasia Eugene. Zaria Freeman. Vidhi Stardak Garha. Aaliyah Elise Gale. Paul Michael Harrelson. Janika Latanya Jackson. Anina Kalu. Benjamin Taylor Masters. Brian Munoz. Tammy Lasagna Nottingham. Diana Ortiz. Kenya Oliver Owens. Daniel Robert Santos. Silver Marie Scott. Marjorie Opindo Tabili. Elijah Tate. Brianna Williams. I need to call. Candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the School of Computing, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Kuhang, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Ola Abzaria, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Damian Richard Allen, Information Technology. Tristan S. Borngesser, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Corey T. Bright, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Hakili Tabari Broderick, Information Technology. Xander C. Cabahug, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Ryan Carmen, Information Technology. Kimberly Dawn Clark, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Tria Carell, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Juan Cortez, Information Technology. Daniel DeRosa, Information Technology. Trevino Dondre Emmanuel, Information Technology. Madeline Claire McCarty, Information Technology. Herr Gustavos Flores Ravines, Information Technology. Timothy M. Faust, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Carl Amani Stefan Goodwin, Information Technology. Milan Fatil Gray, Information Technology. Camden Michael Hunter, Information Technology. Batalak Joe Inthasan, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Stephanie James, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Milton A. Johnson, Information Technology. John Michael Joyce, Information Technology. Abia S. Kamal, Information Technology. Devambrose Kumu Christopher, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Yuri Lapayev, Information Technology. Matthew Paul Laster, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Kenya L. Mills, Information Technology. Tierra C. Montgomery, Information Technology. Brandis D. Moody, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Raisa Najida Muhammad, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Evan Alexander O'Quinn, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Jordan Parker, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Dev Patel, cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology and Criminal Justice. Hezekiah Emmanuel Presley, Information Technology. Matthew Clarence Raleigh, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Jared Evan Rogers, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. Jaden Lee Sanchez, magna cum laude, Dean's List Scholar, Information Technology. William P. Sawyer, Information Technology. Leon Zakur Simmons, Information Technology. Artavius M. Washington, Information Technology. Tyree J. Weston, Information Technology. Frida Wilson, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, Information Technology. Caitlin Renee Faust, Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. Kaylee G. Hutchison, Mathematics. Billy Oliver Kohler, Associate of Science, Financial Technology. Leslie Fernandez, Associate of Science, Core. Danielle E. Arndt. Whoops, where do we got the master's? Getting a master's degree? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold tight. Candidates for the master's degree at the School of Arts and Letters, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Clayton, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. You're good. Sorry about that. All right. Daniel E. Arndt, Master of Arts, Technical and Professional Writing. Caroline May Black, Technical and Professional Writing. Erin Claudia Byington, Technical and Professional Writing, Technical Writing and Digital Communication. Laura Clark, Technical and Professional Writing. James Griffin, Technical and Professional Writing, Technical Writing and Digital Communication. Arnisha McGlory, Technical and Professional Writing. Marina Strage Jordan Mitchell, Technical and Professional Writing, Tech Writing and Digital Communication. Talitha Cherie Mullins, Technical and Professional Writing, Tech Writing and Digital Communication. Okay. Kendall Palmer, Technical and Professional Writing. Nina Wadzik, Technical and Professional Writing, Technical Writing and Digital Communication. Martha C. Wallace, Technical and Professional Writing. Raymond Christopher Qualls, Technical Writing and Digital Communication. Okay, hold on. Candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the School of Arts and Letters, please come forward by row when directed to receive congratulations from Dean Clayton, Provost Jenks, and President Blake. Michaela J. Chambers, Bachelor of Arts, English. Madison Fastigi, English. Lily J. Gottschong, summa cum laude, President's List Scholar, English. Corey N. Johnson, magna cum laude, President's List Scholar, English. Elizabeth Diane Kilgore, English. Alexis Nicole Pate, English. Ashley Vernon, English. Brittany D. Virgo, English. Samuel Colton Kraft, History. Dennis Lee Duncan, History. Hannah Gray, history. Tiana Monisha Knight, history.
President Blake, on behalf of the faculty, I proudly present these candidates who have now satisfied all requirements for graduation and ask that you confer upon them their respective degrees.
Well, candidates for graduation, we have reached a point where in a moment I shall say a few words, but those few words symbolize and signify your transition to the rest of your life. Sometimes very small little moments are full of promise, and this is one of them. But before I do that, there's two other things I want to do. First of all, I've had the honor of shaking hands with about 150, 200 people just now, which means you have too. So when we leave, do not grab the first donut or muffin and put it straight in your mouth. Instead, since you are bright people, find some of the sanitizing stations around here and clean your hands. We don't want to spread germs today. That's a very, very important thing. And I do mean that, actually. Secondly, not only have our faculty and staff worked with you for several years to get you to this point, but a lot of people have worked amazingly hard this week at staging this, in preparing this, in welcoming you. Our faculty and staff today have really participated themselves. And then there will be our police that will help you safely leave the campus later. So I would like you to show a round of applause for them, for the work they have done today. And now, those very few but very important words in your life. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree or certificate you have so diligently pursued, with all of the rights and the responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations. And now we're going to have a little tradition. It's a little tiny mini ceremony within this big ceremony. And what we're going to do is, as you know, you're wearing these fancy caps, which I'm sure you won't be wearing very often, maybe occasionally in Walmart or something like that. You'll be dressed in this stuff. But I want you for now to put your tassel. You see this tassel here? This one is sewn in. I can't move it. Move it to the right. Move it to the right. I know you've got your degree, but just everybody move it to the right for a moment. Because what I want to do is a tradition that welcomes you into the alumni program. Would you, if you look on the right, they're about to come down. These are people that were sitting in your seat. They were students getting their degrees. These are our alumni. Welcome them back. Welcome them back. And what they are going to do with the people in front of them on the front, they're going to say hello and welcome and smile, but then when I count it down, they are going to move your tassel to the left, signifying this new special graduate relationship and you as an alum. So, and then the people on the front row are going to turn around and smile at the people behind them and do it to that row, and then they're going to turn around. You follow this? It's not difficult. You're bright people with degrees. But graduates, would you please stand? Would you please stand? And I am going to count down that we will start this process at the front with our alumni. 3, 2, 1, begin. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of the class of 2023. Please be seated. Some of you will leave Middle Georgia. Others of you will come back and do further graduate work. But wherever you go and whatever you do next, there is an enduring relationship between Middle Georgia State University and you for the rest of your lives. You will always be our alumni. We take pride in that relationship, and I hope that you will take pride in your, what is now, your alma mater. I have one very important final, if you like, lecture as your president. Use the knowledge and the credential you have, not only for your own betterment and the kind of career path we heard so powerfully from the General, but use it for the betterment not only of yourselves, but your profession, use it for your communities, use it for the world in which we live. We need that desperately. As educated individuals, it is our responsibility, yes, to help our families, our loved ones, but also the society in which we live and thrive and work. That is the value of having a degree. It is there to empower not only ourselves, but also the common good. Throughout this ceremony, we've been talking about transitions, and I just mentioned that you are now in a relationship with your alma mater. And when Middle Georgia became a university, we developed an alma mater song to celebrate what Middle Georgia means in the life of its alumni, who will forever be ambassadors of this university. Please direct your attention to the video screens and enjoy a performance of our alma mater by the MGA Chamber Singers under the direction of Dr. Rebecca Lanning.
Through the rolling hills of Georgia, in the heart of the great beach state, we build our future shaping lives. The quest is ours to take, with boundless possibilities and the lessons of the past. We sons and daughters of MGA, our friendships ever last. We knights of truth and honor, with knowledge as our sword, we raise our voices loud and clear, our hearts at MGA.
I extend my personal best wishes to you now as you enter this next phase of your life. On behalf of the university, I extend our gratitude that you chose Middle Georgia State for your education. There are over 3,000 institutions in the nation and many great institutions in the state of Georgia. We're just so proud that we now have that relationship with you and that you chose Middle Georgia. To our guests and those in the audience, I would ask you to please stay in your places until the last graduates have left their rows and have recessed to the back. But at this point, would you please all stand? And it is my privilege and my pleasure to announce that these commencement exercises for 2023 are concluded. Godspeed.